Alright, I'm back with another Destiny 2 video, and I'm just realizing I'm wearing the same shirt as yesterday. Look, you work from home, you don't have to change your shirt every day. At least I'm putting clothes on, so that's, something. Today we are once again in the not too much to talk about phase of things. I know there's a TWAB later, but the TWABs have been a little light lately, and we already know the mid-season patch stuff coming next week, so I just thought I'd make this video earlier in the day. This is actually related to something I saw True Vanguard make earlier this week, which was just a short video talking about whether or not, after the final shape, if the game needs a full reset or not. And he doesn't say Destiny 3, but it would effectively be Destiny 3. And his point is kind of, it's been 6 years and most games don't last anywhere near this long. And is it time for a hard reset? Starting over with our gear, starting fresh after the Light and Dark saga is over. And I think there are a few different components to this. There's what I would wish would happen, there's what I think is going to happen, and then there are some concerns about what does happen when there is inevitably someday a full reset. Personally, I'm probably ready for a full reset after the final shape. It has been a very long time. My vault is full of more weapons than I'm ever possibly going to use. The game is full of, so many kind of defunct activities at this point, nightmare hunts and empire hunts and all this stuff that we just never do anymore, that, yeah, you could see how a clean slate would be beneficial, especially since all of the early parts of the game have been vaulted, so trying to get new players into the game now is like throwing them into some random expansion like Shadowkeep, or trying to get them to play the current expansion and not really have any clue what's going on for the previous 5 years. So it does seem like some sort of reset is warranted. However, what I think is going to happen, and what I've kind of been predicting for a while now, is I do not think there is going to be a hard reset after the final shape. I think there is going to be one more Destiny 2 trilogy. This has been kind of very strongly hinted at previously, where they have talked about additional Destiny 2 sagas, not Destiny overall sagas. There were very strong implications that there would be more Destiny 2 content past the final shape. And they're probably going to keep working on the engine and upgrading it and blah, 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 blah. Given the timing of this, that final shape is 2024, I think that gives us room for one more trilogy set in Destiny 2, with all the content we still have and all that stuff, and all the seasons in between. So I don't know what this saga is specifically. I don't really have, ideas for a plot line other than we are going to be moving beyond the Traveler and the Witness while retaining our powers, because they're not going to reset all those. So 2025 would be the first expansion for the new saga, 2026 second, 2027 third. Also by this point, Bungie probably will have launched at least one or two new games. Probably their PvP stuff they're working on. Once you get to 2027, we are either at or about to be at the launch of a new console generation, in addition to whatever PC upgrades we see by then with 50 series cards and whatever. That, I think, would be the break point, where you might have the final expansion launch on, both old gen, which is current gen, and new gen. I am not one of these people who thinks that this is the last console generation, we're never gonna, where everything's moving to cloud gaming. Obviously, that's not gonna happen. We are gonna get a PlayStation 6. We are gonna get some new Xbox thing, probably. And I think that would be the break point. And I would be very surprised if they literally call it Destiny 3. I think they might just go back to calling it Destiny, or Destiny : something, World of Destiny, that sort of thing. But I think that would be the hard reset point. I don't think they're going to do it after the final shape. I could be wrong, but I would say all implications we've seen lead me to believe that is probably not happening after the final shape, and they are going to be doing more stuff within Destiny 2. They will still probably be content vaulting things. They've said they're not content vaulting expansions anymore, but all seasonal content will be vaulted. They have the potential to still vault the EDZ and Nessus as the last two remaining Red War zones, where there's not a whole lot going on there other than the like strikes and battlegrounds that exist there. But that is kind of where I see things going. Hopefully, get some more vault space. But my main concern with a Destiny 3 or whatever the hard reset ends up being is we have spent so much time bringing back so many things from Destiny 1 into Destiny 2. A lot of this has been weapons and exotics and things. A lot of it has also been zones and some strikes. Like we brought the Cosmodrome back, we brought the Moon back, which is coming back altered. And my concern would be they launch Destiny 3 or whatever, and then we spend 5 years re-adding stuff from Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 now, and it's just it's in the new engine now, and then we have all these changes, but we're gonna spend 5 years bringing back all the exotics that we just had. My hope would be that this game launches with a lot of content that they already have. Like, yes, maybe revamped in the new engine or whatever they're gonna do for the next game, but not just a total clean slate. Like, I would like to see the vast majority of things like the weapons available in some capacity when we launch, or a large amount of the existing zones already in the game. And we're not just going to start over with like 4 new planets and like 150 new weapons or something, and then we spend the next 5 years being like, the EDZ's back, or there's the Moon for the 3rd time, or we're every season we're getting 3 exotics from Destiny 2 or Destiny 1 in addition to the new ones. Like, the prospect of that to me is pretty exhausting, and like we're still doing that now. Like, we're still bringing back Destiny 1 stuff as we speak, and like they've eased up on that a little bit. I think they brought back the Cosmodrome, and they're like, oh, we're going to expand on that. And they're like, actually, maybe not. Maybe we're not going to do that. We're going to focus on new content. So maybe their philosophy has changed a little bit. And we have cleared out most of the old exotics outside of the really problematic ones that they don't want to bring back, like Icebreaker and a few of those that they've left behind. But for the most part, we have ported a huge amount of stuff from Destiny 1 over. I just don't really want to go through that entire process again with Destiny 3. I would rather that launch with a large amount of content already in place. Maybe not all of it. Maybe that is not feasible, but I just don't really want to do the same thing over again. I do think we need some sort of reset, but I don't think a reset needs to be as like field clearing as what we saw from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, where everything was wiped. We get 4 zones and then some new weapons, but then we spend all this time porting everything over and building things up again essentially from scratch. I don't know if that's possible, but that is what I'm hoping to see. And again, I do not see this happening after next year. I think there will be some major changes within Destiny 2. They seem to have implied that I think they're going to make some major changes with new player onboarding and make this sort of like, because if this is like the first part of a new trilogy or whatever, make it a storyline that you can start from that point and not have to necessarily have played the entire Light and Darkness saga before it to know what's going on. Like, essentially like a new Red War campaign, but obviously they're not bringing that back. Something like that. But they're not going to clear out everything before it. Because they've said they're not, vaulting any more expansions. So those from Shadowkeep onward will continue to exist. And I think at this point we can't, if there is only, 3-4 years left in Destiny 2, I don't think they're going to spend any time doing things like bringing the Red War campaign back. And if we do see old stuff reprise, like there are very strong implications that Titan is coming back next season for Season of the Deep. It's going to be like what they did with the Leviathan, where it was seasonal content. It was a small zone. They kind of remixed it a little bit, and then it went away as content vaulted stuff does. So past that, I don't think we're going to see huge things continue to be ported from Destiny 1 or vaulted things from Destiny 2 come back at the same level. Raids, yeah, they're going to reprise raids and stuff still, but these big zones like Venus, like I don't think stuff like that is coming back. And if it is, it'll be in reduced format. It'll be seasonal stuff. I think that is where they're going here. And Final Shape, we will obviously get a big new zone like the Throne World or Neomuna. My guess is whatever that zone is inside the portal, cut in the Traveler. Maybe it's an entire Black Garden zone. I don't know, something like that. But I doubt it's like some moon of some planet in our solar system this time. So anyway, that's kind of my elaborate thoughts. I did like a whole 10-minute video on True Vanguard's 90-second video, but that is what I've been thinking. I think I've covered this to some extent before, but if we're talking about resets and stuff, I have some pretty fixed ideas and opinions on that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments about full resets and Destiny 2 extensions and things. So yeah, thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon. Take care.